My 600-pound life star Dolly Martinez has tragically died at just 30 years old, and the heartbreaking details now emerging are making this story even more devastating than fans initially feared. Dolly Martinez, who appeared on TLC's My 600-Pound Life, was already one of the most talked about and emotionally complex participants in the show's history. But now her story has taken a tragic final turn, as it's been confirmed that she passed away on April 11, 2026, following a series of severe health complications that ultimately became too much for her body to handle. According to multiple confirmed reports and statements from her family, Dolly died from congestive heart failure after being hospitalized just days earlier. She had reportedly been admitted on March 29th, suffering from fluid buildup in her heart and lungs, a condition that quickly escalated. Doctors placed her on a ventilator, and at one point she was put into a medically induced coma in an effort to stabilize her condition. Despite those efforts, Dolly never recovered. Her passing was confirmed by her sister in an emotional statement shared publicly, where she described Dolly as someone with a bright and loving personality, a detail that hits even harder for fans who remember how much she struggled on screen, yet still showed glimpses of warmth, humor, and vulnerability. For viewers who watched her episode, Dolly's journey was never easy, and that's part of why this news feels so heavy. When she appeared on My 600-Pound Life, Dolly weighed around 593 pounds and was already facing life-threatening health issues. She relied on oxygen support and struggled not only with her physical condition, but also with deep emotional and psychological challenges that made her situation incredibly difficult to navigate. Unlike some of the show's success stories, Dolly's progress was inconsistent. She found it hard to follow Dr. Nowzaradan's strict weight loss program, often falling back into patterns that reflected just how deeply rooted her struggles were. At times, her living conditions, relationships, and decision-making raised serious concerns among viewers. But what stood out most about Dolly wasn't just the setbacks, it was how clearly she needed help beyond just a diet plan. Her story highlighted something that fans of My 600-Pound Life have been discussing for years, the fact that extreme weight struggles are rarely just about food. They're about trauma, mental health, environment, and support systems, or the lack of them. And now, with her death confirmed, many fans are revisiting her episode with a completely different perspective. Social media has been flooded with reactions since the news broke. Messages of shock and sadness are everywhere, with fans expressing regret, empathy, and heartbreak over how things turned out. One viewer wrote, "Her episode was so hard to watch because you could tell she was suffering in every way possible." Another said, "She needed long-term support. This is just so tragic." There's also been a renewed criticism and concern surrounding reality TV itself. Shows like My 600-Pound Life have long been praised for raising awareness about obesity and giving participants a chance at life-saving treatment. But they've also faced criticism for what happens after filming ends. In Dolly's case, many are now asking whether enough ongoing care and support were available once the cameras stopped rolling. Because what Dolly was dealing with didn't end in a single episode. Her dependence on oxygen, her inability to qualify for weight loss surgery at the time, and her repeated struggles to stay on track all pointed to a much bigger battle, one that couldn't be solved quickly or easily. And sadly, it's a battle she ultimately lost. Dolly Martinez is not the first My 600-Pound Life participant to pass away, but her age makes this especially difficult to process. At 30 years old, she was still incredibly young, still at a stage where change, recovery, and a different future were all still possible. That's what makes this feel less like an ending and more like something that was cut short. Looking back, there were moments in her journey where hope seemed possible. Small steps forward, brief flashes of determination. Those moments made people believe she might turn things around. And even when she struggled, many viewers continued rooting for her, hoping she would find stability and support. Now, those moments feel bittersweet. Her story has become a powerful reminder of how serious and complex these struggles really are. It's not just about willpower, it's about access to care, mental health support, stable environments, and long-term guidance, things that are often overlooked when these journeys are condensed into a single episode of television. As more people continue to react to her passing, one thing is becoming clear: her story has left a lasting impact, not just as a reality TV narrative, but as a real-life example of how urgent these issues are and how much more needs to be done to support people facing them. Her family's words describing her as bright and loving remind us that beyond the headlines, beyond the show, and beyond the struggles, Dolly Martinez was a person that mattered, someone who deserved more time, more support, and a better outcome than this. And while her journey didn't end the way anyone hoped, it has sparked conversations that might help others in similar situations. Conversations about compassion, about responsibility, and about the kind of support that truly makes a difference. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.